Meow, my friends. Our nation's telecommunications just got hacked harder than a hairball coughing contest. Senator Mark Warner, chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee and former Telecom exec, is sounding the alarm louder than a cat in heat. He's calling this cyber catastrophe the worst telecom hack in US history. And trust me, that's not just political catnip. The culprit? A Chinese hacking group called Salt Typhoon. These digital ninjas have been prowling our network since 2020, using AI and custom malware to sneak around like they own the place. They've managed to sink their claws into the big three, T-Mobile, AT&T and Verizon, potentially compromising millions of users' data. But here's where it gets really hairy, my friends. These hackers didn't just peek through our digital windows. They set up camp in our telecom living rooms, raided the fridge, and probably watched our Netflix too. They've gained access to wiretapping systems used by law enforcement, meaning they could potentially eavesdrop on heavily surveilled government communications. It's like giving a mouse the keys to the cheese factory. Warner's not mincing words. He says his hair's on fire over this. And if you've seen his perfectly coiffed mane, you know that's serious. He's calling it a devastating counterintelligence failure, which is fancy talk for, we really stepped in it this time. Warner, who went from tech millionaire to political bigwig faster than you can say Silicon Valley, is meow pulling his hair out over this digital disaster. The FBI and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, are on the case, combing through the digital debris like they're searching for a mouse in a haystack, made of more mice. They've identified around 150 direct victims so far, but that number could skyrocket faster than a cat up a Christmas tree. In a joint statement, they described the breach as broad and significant, which in government speak means, holy catnip, we're in trouble. Meow, let's talk about the economic fallout. This cyber catastrophe could cost more than all the hairballs I've coughed up in my 9 lives combined. We're talking billions, folks. Telecom companies might have to shell out more for cybersecurity than I spend on premium cat food. And let's not even start on the hit to consumer trust. It could leave these telecom giants licking their wounds for years to come. T-Mobile, AT&T and Verizon are scrambling like cats in a cucumber field, claiming they've got it under control. Spoiler alert, they don't. It's like watching a cat try to act nonchalant after knocking over a priceless vase. T-Mobile, in particular, has a history of data breaches that's longer than a cat's 9 lives. They recently coughed up $31.5 million to settle with the Federal Communications Commission over previous fumbles. That's a lot of kibble, my friends. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about stolen data. It's about power. China's flexing its cyber muscles like it's trying to win a digital bodybuilding contest. And let's be real, our telecom systems are so old, they probably still use dial-up and think The Matrix is cutting-edge sci-fi. It's like trying to defend Fort Knox with a rusty padlock and a keep out sign. The vulnerability of our telecom networks is partly due to their complex history. Years of mergers and acquisitions have left us with a patchwork of systems held together with the digital equivalent of duct tape and wishful thinking. It's like trying to upgrade a house while it's still being lived in by a family of elephants. Meow, let's put this in perspective. Remember the SolarWinds hack back in 2020? That was like a cat burglar sneaking in through an open window. This Salt Typhoon operation is more like a wrecking ball smashing through the entire house. It makes those old Nigerian prince email scams look like child's play. Heck, these hackers probably know more about Americans' phone habits than their own mothers do. And here's a delicious irony. The very systems used for law enforcement surveillance have been compromised. It's like the watchdogs getting outsmarted by the cats they were supposed to be guarding against. I guess in the digital age, what happens in Vegas definitely doesn't stay in Vegas anymore. But wait, there's more. This hack isn't happening in a vacuum. It's all part of the ongoing tech soap opera between the US and China. It's like a game of digital chess, except China's playing StarCraft while we're still setting up the board. This breach could have serious implications for international relations, potentially leading to increased scrutiny of US-China tech interactions and stricter regulations for telecom companies. So, while you were busy doom-scrolling through cat videos, Chinese hackers were potentially eavesdropping on your deepest, darkest secrets. Or at least your pizza order preferences. Your personal data could be floating around the dark web like a digital tumbleweed, ready to be snatched up by the highest bidder. And let's face it, Your embarrassing text messages might be light reading for Chinese hackers during their coffee breaks. Experts warn that this could be just the appetizer in a 5-course meal of cyber mayhem. Hope you're hungry for more digital chaos, America. We need to pump more money into our cyber defenses than I pump into my weekly catnip budget. And trust me, that's a lot. We're talking about a complete overhaul of our cybersecurity infrastructure from the litter box up. The long-term consequences of this hack could be as lasting as a cat's grudge. We might see stricter regulations for telecom companies, increased government oversight, and a fundamental shift in how we approach data security. It's like trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube, except the toothpaste is radioactive, and the tube is made of tissue paper. So, what can we do? Well, short of unplugging everything and going back to carrier pigeons, which, let's face it, would just give us a different kind of security problem, we need to get serious about cybersecurity. That means upgrading our digital infrastructure, investing in cutting-edge security measures, and maybe, just maybe, not using password 123 for all our accounts. In the meantime, keep your whiskers twitching and your paws ready. In this cyber cat and mouse game, we're all the cheese, and if you're as shocked as I am about this cyber catastrophe, smash that like button harder than the FBI wants to smash these hackers' servers. If you want to keep your whiskers twitching with the latest in cyber catnip, make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that bell like it's full of treats. Remember, in the world of cybersecurity, curiosity didn't just kill the cat. It hacked its Facebook account and ordered 16 tons of catnip on its credit card. Stay vigilant, my feline friends. We'll return shortly with more updates. I'm Ron de Parmesan, and this has been another Newscat special report.